What is up, loves? Welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto Online Oscar Guzman Flies Again DLC video. My name is Darkside. I wanted to go over these, and after playing them through about 3 times, there's a lot of things that I want to show you guys, some tips and tricks that are going to be very, very helpful. So after you get the call from Oscar Guzman, he's going to tell you to meet him out at the Mackenzie Airfield hangar out in Sandy Shores. Actually, it's out in Grapeseed, technically. And then you're going to go and he's just going to kind of show you around. And this is starting off at the first one. Listen, if you're an inexperienced player, I would not suggest doing these alone. I ran them through my first time, 100% solo, and I struggled on a couple of them. I'm not going to lie. Some of them are pretty tricky if you don't have someone to watch your back. So this first one here, up and running, you're going to have to start off by getting onto these 2 motorcycles, these Manchester Scouts or whatever, and you're going to head up into the hills. Now, he's going to be telling you a story about how a friend of his got eaten by a couple of cougars or something. Just be careful, because when you get all the way up to the top of the mountain, there are 2 cougars that are not on the radar. You'll hear them growling, but if they attack you, you're going to die, and it's going to count against you. As you can see here, me and my niece, we came up here and we did this. This is actually her running them through. I was just helping her. You'll hear the growling, and there are 2 cougars up here. There's one I just take out, and there's another one on the other side of this little electric room or whatever up here. Take it out, and then she wound up taking out this. You have to take out the poles, the pillars on that little communications tower and take it down. She just used the railgun. You could use like an explosive or a railgun. You could even shoot it with your weapon, and it'll fall apart and fall down the ravine. It's pretty easy. The thing you need to be careful of, though, don't put your bike on the edge of the cliff there, because if you lose your bikes, you're going to have to run all the way back down the cliff. That's what happened to us. So we were like, all right, let's just blow ourselves up and we'll restart it. And that's what we did. And actually over here, one thing, you could snipe this plane if you want to. And the more you snipe it, it's going to drop the cargo that you need, or the guns or whatever it is. I would suggest calling in the vigilante. That's what I did. You're going to see it makes it a hell of a lot easier to get this cargo to drop out of the plane. My niece just kept blowing it up, and it dropped the packages really, really quickly, and then we were done with this part really fast. Also going to help you because you're going to have a lot of enemies coming at you, and remember, you want to try and take out as many enemies as possible because it's more RP for you to rank up. Now, unfortunately, on this mission, once you go to the buyers and drop off the packages that you've collected, it's automatically going to fail the mission. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but it's going to automatically say destroyed. Don't worry about it. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just what's supposed to happen in the mission. I was like, really? When I first played it, I was like, damn, dude, I hope I don't have to do that over. But no, it's part of the mission. Moving on to the next set of mission is going to be the mogul. Now, honestly, guys, I would probably only just steal the one. I mean, even if you're doing this with like one other player, only steal one of the moguls. I'm going to show you that a little bit later on when you're going for the Titan, to take on the Titan. If you want to collect both of them, by all means, go ahead. My friend, Mr. M, he's one of my subscribers, he was like, dude, why don't you just take the plane? Originally, when I first did this, I took the Vigilante, and it took me forever to get over there, because it kept bouncing all over the mountains. So my niece started flying, and basically when we got over to the Ebonheart, the little area, the test site, we just jumped out of the plane. Now, you can do this in stealth. I did it in stealth the first time, and I passed it fine. Don't do it in stealth. You're wasting your time. It doesn't save you any more time, and you're going to get the enemies on you regardless. Like I said, we just flew over to the location, and we took all the guys out by hand. We didn't do it in stealth. It's really not that much resistance. You're not looking at any weaponized vehicles you have to take out or anything like that. It's just people on foot. Like I said, we went in on foot, and there wasn't really much resistance. Just be careful using explosives, because you don't want to damage the moguls. Okay, otherwise I'm pretty sure the mission will fail. So, yeah, just take them all out. There's not much resistance here at all. You'll be good. And once you grab the mogul, just, make sure you hit the countermeasures. Keep popping those flares. Unfortunately, this doesn't have chaff, but just keep popping the flares. And then You know, you'll go over towards where Oscar Guzman is and fly around in a circle. Just keep flying around and he's going to take the jets down for you. Then that's going to move you into the next part of the mission. So once all the jets are down and he's done taking down the jets, you're going to have to fly over these 5 different locations where the flares are and open up the bomb bay doors and just bomb down on the 5 locations. I let my niece do this. I did one of them, but she did really good, actually. She's never actually flown a mogul with bombs or anything like that. So she had a good time doing this. But yeah, it's pretty easy. Just don't forget you could press B and then use the camera down to aim down below or look down below you. Just right before you hit the location, just start hitting A. Just start hitting A and then you'll be good. You'll drop the bombs. If you have to, you circle back around. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have much resistance on that part either. Moving on to the next setup mission is going to be the intel. So the first part of this mission, you're going to have to make your way over to this little lockup over here and get on one of the drones. And don't worry, it's going to teleport you all the way down to the city. You don't have to go all the way down there, which is kind of a cool thing. I like that. I was like, oh man, please don't tell me I have to go all the way back to Los Santos. No, but as soon as you jump on the drone, you're going to be right next to Elysian Island. Most likely, you're probably going to fail this at least a couple times. You don't fail it, but your drone is probably going to get shot at. Don't forget, you could take out the guys with the little gun turrets that are on this thing. And you could also knock them out. If you happen to, like, sneak up behind them in stealth, you could shock them and knock them out. But as long as you don't get hit too much, you should run through this pretty quickly. Especially if you have someone helping you. You guys will knock it out pretty fast. It's pretty easy. Once you're done with that, it's going to teleport you back to this room. Just go out there, and now it's time to go to another location on this mission. Once again, we used the vigilante. We came over here. Now listen, I would recommend only take the guys out that are up here by the house. Don't lock onto the guys in the boat because you're going to need that boat to get back to shore. Either that or the sea shark. If you blow up the boat, most likely you're going to blow up the sea shark too. Take those guys out by hand. Put the scuba outfits on. Head out there and just be careful of what lies beneath. If you guys haven't done this mission, I don't want to spoil it for you. Just kind of swim around, look for the green boxes. You'll see the green arrows. And they'll be pointing down at the boxes. Actually, my niece found 3 of them already. Like, I was like, damn, you found them that quick? But she did. I only found 1. And then once you do that, swim back up and get back in the boat and go back to shore. You're going to come back up here. You're going to be faced with a little bit of resistance. Probably maybe like 6, 8 guys, something like that. Nothing too crazy. Just take them out and you'll be good to go. And then go back to the airfield and drop these boxes that you need off. And then that mission's pretty much done. Moving on to the next mission is going to be stealing the Mule Custom. Okay, that new helicopter that's been released. It's going to be replacing the Cargo Bob. Man, I love this thing already. So, I kind of just went on foot and I had my niece just kind of cover me with the vigilante. She took down as many helicopters as she can. And basically we went in here. I did wind up dying because one of the planes or the helicopters that I took down fell on top of me, dude. And it fucking killed me. So she had to finish this mission alone. You're going to come in here, take out all the guys, and set the EMP charges in 4 different spots. Not too crazy. Just be careful of the insurgent that's in the middle of this area. It will tear you up fast. Once you set the last EMP charge, it's going to tell you to blow up everything. Basically, just make a mess of the whole place. Explode everything, kill as many guys as you possibly can. Once the mules show up, you will activate the EMPs. It'll make them fall from the sky. Take out the guys inside of the mules. They're going to get out. You're going to hijack the mule, basically take off with it and go drop it off at the airfield. And then that mission's done. Moving on to this next setup mission. This one is a pain in the ass. It can be. I did this solo when I first did it, but luckily I had my niece watching my back on this. This is the ammunition setup mission. You're going to jump into the plane with Oscar Guzman, because remember, Oscar Guzman flies again. And I guess he kind of is, so he's going to take you down there. Don't worry, you're not going to go all the way down to the city. There's going to be like a cutscene, and you guys are going to spawn pretty much almost right in front of Elysian Island, like over Maze Bank. What I did, I got into the mule, and then I had my niece get into one of these Buckingham Canadas, and she just kept blowing everything up, and kind of just watching my back. I did do this originally the first time I ran it by myself, and it is a little tricky. It's a little confusing, too, because there's, like, these explosives you can drop on top of the barges, but you don't really need to do that. You can even take one of the Canadas and go and blow most of the shit up yourself. So, I would only recommend doing this, right? If you're going to be doing it with at least one more person. I'm going to show you guys something cool when the Titan job comes up. Just go in here, grab the green box. That's like the Titan ammo, and go and drop it off. That's all you're going to need. Trust me, watch. I'm going to show you guys something pretty interesting. So now it's time to start the finale, the Titan job. Okay, so when me and my niece first did this, this is what's really weird. If you don't have both of the moguls, if you only grabbed one of them, Oscar Guzman automatically flies one of them, which is kind of crazy because it's like, what's the other people supposed to do? And this mission sucks because the guns on this mogul are not that good. But I'm going to show you guys a trick that me and my niece, we tried it and it worked out perfectly, especially if you have someone helping you. So wait until they get up in the air, at least Oscar Guzman and whoever's in the mogul with them, and then have you and then one other person EWO out at the same exact time. Or if you just by yourself, just blow yourself up. But wait until they're up in the air, though.
I'll meet you there. Here's the fact.
And amazingly, once you spawn back in, you're going to spawn back in a buzzard. And trust me, this buzzard could take a shitload of damage. And the hardest part is actually catching up with the Titan. But once I did, dude, I had this thing shredded up fast, right? This is going to be the quickest way to take the Titan down. Just do exactly as I did. If you're doing it with one other person, yeah, just EWO out. Even, listen, even if you let Oscar Guzman take off on his own, you can get into a buzzard and just follow behind him. And this thing could take a lot of damage and just shred the Titan up by yourself. Because the guns that my niece were using on the mogul weren't doing shit. This thing, I had it tore up within like 3 minutes. It was done. Unfucking believable. You guys, I'm telling you, you're going to want to do it this way. It's going to be a lot better for you. And it could take really good damage, surprisingly, for a buzzard. So once that happens, the plane's going to crash and then goes on to the next part of the mission. I kind of just covered my niece here and waited for Oscar Guzman to drop the Titan ammo. And basically, you have to repair the engine first. It's like a little hacking mini game. You have to press A, then B, then X. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do. It's just do it in the pattern it tells you to. And then once you do that, I wound up flying the Titan, and my niece worked the guns. We had this done really fast. And it's honestly a lot easier having someone help you. The first time I did it alone. The first location you're going to be going to is to destroy 2 mobile operation centers, which these guns will take them out in one shot, as long as you have somebody that's pretty accurate on the guns. To take out the mobile operation centers, the next spot is going to be heading over out to sea to take out a submarine. So just make sure you don't fly too high. Fly pretty low so they can get a good shot in on the submarine. It takes like 3 or 4 shots, I think, maybe 5, something like that. It'll blow it up, and then it's on to the last location, which is the train. So you see here, my niece takes out the submarine, and then it's a done deal. So just keep popping the countermeasures, and you should be good. You're gonna get hit a couple times though. Moving on to this last location, the train. Make sure you take out the locomotive first. That's going to stop the train dead in its tracks. It's going to make it a hell of a lot easier for you to hit the targets. So I noticed this. Take out the locomotive first, and then you can blow up everything else after that. And then it's a done deal, guys. Once you're done with that, bring the Titan home to Oscar Guzman and get paid your money. And that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully this was helpful. Some tips and tricks for you. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.